Hello, I'm Jeff Myers, and welcome to Elgin Today. On this edition, we have a great interview with Larkin grad and basketball star Damari Wheeler-Thomas, who had a great freshman year at North Dakota State. And we continue to get ready for the 46th annual Elgin Valley Foxtrot as we hear from Rosie Valencia and Ed Bates. The Mayor David Captain segment includes Elgin's Fire Chief Rob Sagan and also conversation about the railroad merger and what it means to Elgin. We'll have these stories and more on this edition of Elgin Today. We are at the start-finish line for our next segment here on Elgin Today, and this is where things will happen right across from Gale Borden Library, the 46th annual Elgin Valley Foxtrot. And we have Rosie Valencia here. Rosie, how are you?
Good. How are you, Jeff?
And Ed Bates, the man who's run everywhere. Ed?
I am here.
All right. Rosie, we're always excited. You had over 800 runners last year. You would like 1,000 this year, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. We're excited to keep hosting this annual event and tradition in the city of Elgin. 7:30 a.m. is the kickoff for the 10-mile run, and then 7:40 we have a 5K.
Wonderful. Tell us about the website and how we can get involved. Sign up.
Yeah, elginfoxtrot.org is the website, and we have a current discount until May 1st, so register before May 1st, so it's the next price increase, and we will take registrations all the way up to race day.
We love it the way the runners come from all over, all high schools and areas, don't they?
Yes, we do have a nice youth category as well. So anybody that is 19 and under can register for a very special price at $20. We're encouraging youth to participate. And we actually then also have a traveling trophy for the area high school that has the most runners that sign up.
Oh, that's a new kind of concept. That's great. Yeah, where's that trophy at?
Today, Elgin High School won it last year.
Really?
So, yes.
We'll go out to the trophy case, take a look at that.
Correct.
Speaking of trophies, Ed, you have run now in all 50 states. That's when you've been trying to do that since, 2007?
2007 was the first one, so I've run all 50 states.
Wow.
Honolulu, Hawaii, December 11th last year was my 50th.
Wow.
But I've done 74 marathons altogether,
Congratulations.
including many Chicago's.
And has not worn out these shoes yet. Congratulations.
Still going.
What made you inspired to do that?
I think that I did well in my age group in marathons, so there's kind of a high out of that. It helps to have done Boston and New York as well, because it's very invigorating to do a race like that.
It's wonderful. I'm number one in the 100 years and older group, so I'm proud of that. What else should we know? Heather Durant was great last year. She was the fastest female to finish, and she's a great runner. We know her well.
Correct, yeah. And we do have category winners for each age group, for male and female, every 5 years, as well as a category for the youth. So, we encourage people to come out and obviously try to get, win in your category.
That's great. And you now have early pickup for all the information, don't you?
We do. On June 2nd, Friday, June 2nd at Farmers Market from 4 to 8 p.m. And then on June 3rd, the Saturday, from noon to 6 at Danny's Pizza right here in downtown Elgin.
Wonderful. We love it here. It's noisy here, but when Tim Williams gives me that live microphone and I can announce all the runners, man, I'm smiling.
Yeah, no, that's great. We're excited too to also this year be able to feature a course, a preview course series where we're going to be able to have runners preview the course on Sunday, May 21st and Sunday, May 28th at 8 a.m. right here at the start-finish line. We will, let you be able to run the race with us.
And on June 4th, remind us when we start, June 4th.
June 4th, right, 7:30 for the 10 miles, 7:40 for the 5K, and there will be a huge hospitality zone, as we're calling it, right here on Ann Street. There'll be vendors, merchants, you name it, nonprofit organizations, sponsors, all lined up here on both sides of Ann Street.
Where does the money go?
Yep, the money goes to 9 nonprofits within the city of Elgin. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Elgin, the Elgin Lions Club, the Walk to End Alzheimer's, the Elgin Public Museum, Friends of the Fox, Cal's Angels, Salvation Army of Elgin, AID of Elgin, and the Elgin Kiwanis Club.
We appreciate all those folks involved with that. This is such a great event. Congratulations on the great work. You're relatively new to this extravaganza, aren't you?
Correct, yeah. I've been part of the Canyon Farm Runners that took over, taking this event on, and excited to be able to help lead this event and continue the tradition.
Anything else, Ed?
I think that we're hoping for 1,000 runners. We have close to 400 right now, so we're very optimistic about hitting that number.
And you went from...
Yes.
You've been saluted in a nearby village, haven't you?
Yeah, I actually live in West Dundee, and the village of West Dundee commemorated March 27th, so I had that special day, March 27th, in honor of the 50 State Marathon.
Is that every year? I'll take that day off from work every year now for that.
Yeah, well, my daughters have already asked me to contact their bosses and give them a day off. So.
All right. We're at a noisy start-finish line for this. Thank you, Rosie. We appreciate your work.
Thank you.
And Ed, you enjoyed your day, didn't you?
I did very much. Thank you.
All right, June 4th, we'll see everybody right here at the Foxtrot, the Elgin Valley Foxtrot 46th annual event. I guess we'll say before we run amok, we'll say goodbye. We're honored in this segment of the Elgin Today program in April to talk with Damari Wheeler-Thomas, the great basketball star from Larkin. And what a seasoned young man you had at North Dakota State. It was great, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. It was a good first year. Get me started.
We had 3 games. They were 16 and 17. You were the point guard. You played 32. What a freshman year that is. How did the coach make you the point guard, make you such a leader?
I'd say, like, him just trying to help me lead and talk me through little things. And, like, it's bigger than just me on the floor since I'm the point guard. And that's, like, where I had to grow at.
You guys lost to Oral Roberts, and Oral Roberts went into the postseason. They lost to Duke, but you were 1 game away from taking on Duke. That was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We got to the championship game. We just needed one more game to go to the big dance, and that was it.
That would have been a moment. You're in the Summit League Conference. That also includes Western Illinois. When you came to Western in December, you brought all the family down, didn't you?
Yeah, a whole bunch of family came down, family and friends, actually. And, like, it sucked because I got in foul trouble, too, so I didn't get to, like, play much that game.
No, really?
But, yeah.
At Western, Alma Grad at Western, that was a great school. You looked at that school to go there, didn't you?
Yeah, that was one of the schools on my list that I was messing with, and I chose to go to NDSU.
That first year, your grades are good, aren't they?
Yeah, my grades are not bad at all. Make sure my grades are
Coach
good.
Carter at Larkin made sure you go to college, you get good grades. He said that, didn't he?
Yeah, he always say academics first. That's how he is.
Your family follows you. Mom, Helen, and and Pam, of course, are right there with you, aren't they?
Yeah, always praying for me, always reaching out. I love them.
Was it tough to get adjusted to at mid-conference, at mid-level college basketball? Was it tough for you coming out of high school?
I'd say no and yeah at the same time because I came off an injury, so I was a little slower than I normally was. But normally, like, towards the end of the season, in the middle, I got my, like, groove back.
Came back to Elgin. When you come back to Elgin, it's great to return, isn't it?
Yeah, always.
You see some of the former players, don't you?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And you work out right here at the gym sometimes.
Yep. Come here or Larkin. We just vibe. Yeah.
Do you see Coach Carter?
Yeah, I've seen Carter a bunch of times since I've been back.
And he's proud of you, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. That's my guy.
I would. Yeah, he was so good. Boy, he's such a great coach. And that Larkin team of last year, the 21-22 team, that won 31 games. That's the most ever for the school.
Yeah, 31 games. We good at.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't good, but you lost to the finest team produced by Illinois in more than a decade, that Glenbard West. You lost to those guys and held them tough for the first half.
Yeah, I can agree with that, though. That was a tough team.
That's a
very
team for
tough
a generation, maybe.
Definitely.
And what did the guy you guarded? Now, who did you guard in that game, Larkin, against those guys last year?
Caden Pierce.
Yeah. Pierce went where?
Mm-hmm. That's the kid that went to Princeton.
Princeton. And what did he do in the first round of play?
He just won last night. It was a tough game. I liked it.
They came away with a victory. Princeton did in the first game of the recent NCAA final conference, we should say, and play. So that's great. So you played against the best. And this is what you always thought. You always wanted to be a basketball player, did you?
Yeah, always.
Coming from the great tradition.
Always coming from the tradition.
I like the spirit.
Always.
Have the fellas, when you've seen coming back, they've been having some fun with you, haven't they? They enjoy your success.
Yeah, we always just go get something to eat, crack jokes, and all that stuff.
Is that right?
Stuff, yeah.
All right. We get some wings and go out and have some food. Is that right?
Yeah, got to get the wings while I'm here because I can't get them at school.
What would this summer look like for you?
I'd say just working out, trying to be the best me as, like, a person and as a basketball player, and coming back here when I can and visiting the family.
Do you come back to us for the whole summer months, or do you stay at school?
It's like back and forth, workouts there, come back when I can, then back. And we're going to Costa Rica this summer, too.
You are? The team is? The team is?
Yeah.
Can our crew come along?
I doubt it, but...
Costa Rica for games?
Yeah, for games, like in August before school and stuff.
Who will you take on over there?
We don't know yet. We just know, like, we're playing over there.
It's your school, your college school, isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you speak the language?
I can't speak nothing but English.
Well, we're so proud of you. It's been a wonderful year for you, and you're delighted with good grades, as we said.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's your favorite topic at school?
Ooh.
Besides basketball.
I'd say math.
Oh.
It depends on the math.
Well, you're
class.
in the big time. You're a math whiz. You can go right to the NBA. Well, we're delighted. Anybody want to say hello to? We'll say hello to Mom.
Yeah, Mom, Grandma, Grandpa, I love you guys.
They are great. They all kinds of information on Facebook. And we loved it when we saw you in the Larkin days. We always get a chance to chat with you there. So congratulations. And we appreciate. Oh no, you represent Larkin and Elgin so well. We're proud of you.
Appreciate you.
Go get them. We'll see you in Costa Rica. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You're on the dossier. Damari Wheeler-Thomas. Thanks.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone, to our mayor's segment for April. Mayor, tell us a little bit about the rail
merger that just occurred.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And with us today is Elisa Lara. Jeff Myers will be back next month. But the rail merger took place last month. And we're into the time when we can start expecting, if things go along according to the plans of the railway, by mid-April, we may start seeing more and more freight trains.
This is something that's going to be affecting us in Elgin, especially everybody around us, with
Very
the
much
traffic
so.
and in many ways. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure, very much so. We're going to go from, right now we have about 3 freight trains a day, and depending on the source who you talk to, we could be at between 11 and 18 freight trains a day. And currently the trains go through here mostly at night, and so the impact on our traffic is minimalized, but with 18 trains or 11 trains, that's not going to happen. They're going to have to come through during the day. And we've had discussions for the past year with our first responders and mayors along the metro line, all the way from Elgin to Bensonville, to talk about how this is going to impact our communities.
I think this is going to take a big impact, especially with our first responders. And we have here with us our Chief Sagan. Yep. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can do really good at chopping up names, so thank you very much. And because of that, I know there's a lot of things that will impact you guys as well.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be an impact for all our emergency responders, so the police department, the fire department. The fire department runs the ambulances also. So anytime that we have the railroad crossings blocked, it delays our ability to respond, police and fire, across the river. With this impact of trains, this increase in trains, the impact is going to be significant, because we're talking, and we don't have any specifics from the railroad company, but anywhere from 1 to 3 mile long freight trains. So a 1 mile long freight train will block all of our crossings here right in downtown, these 4 main crossings right around the river.
Well, the bridges is really a big impact as well. Yeah.
Correct. So when you look at the impact from emergency response, we have fire stations on both sides of the river. We have the police department assigned beats on both sides of the river. So we have protection on both sides. But when we have larger incidents where units have to cross the rivers, that's going to be a problem. Our ambulances are the ones that are primarily impacted from the fire department standpoint, because both of our community hospitals are on the west side of town. And so any calls on the east side are either going to St. Alexis and Hoffman Estates, or we have to cross the river in one way or another to get to those hospitals.
Well, it's kind of scary because we're looking at our time. That's going to affect in many, many ways.
Yeah.
Is there something that we've thought about? What can we do?
Yeah, and they have plans to try to address that, but this is going to be new for us, and we don't know exactly when the trains are coming, how long they're going to be, and just for the train that's 2 miles long to pass through town could take 5 or 6 minutes or longer, depending on their speed, and time is of the essence. And you are a nurse. And you understand that the fire department looks at a response time 4, 5, 6 minutes, and that's life and death to people. So 1 or 2 minutes could mean the difference in somebody's life.
Absolutely.
And especially if the ambulance hasn't gotten to them yet. I think that's kind of the way I look at it. Transport is one thing because they have assistance in the ambulance, but if somebody has an incident on one side of the river and it takes longer to get to them, that 1 or 2 minutes could mean the difference between life and death to them.
And it's kind of scary because we think about what happened in Ohio. How does that impact? It's scary to even consider thinking that time is going to be withheld due to this changes and all these things that are going to happen and impact. What can we do?
So we plan. Fire department oversees the city's emergency management operations for the city, and we work closely with all the different city agencies. We have you can't plan for every potential eventuality. You look at the types of hazards that you have coming to town. We're hoping that we can work with the railroad companies to identify the type of hazards that are going to be transported on their trains. But depending, we adjust our operations based on the facts that we are confronted with at that moment. So if we had a major incident occur downtown, that's a different type of response than if we had a major incident outside of the downtown populated area. So there's a lot of factors that go into how we respond to these emergencies.
And with that, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and we are, they're working on, I guess, response times and information that we haven't used before. So we're looking at outside help to help enhance our response times, I guess is the best way to look at it. And bringing some people in, and there's just no way that a community can plan for something like we saw in Ohio. So all we can do is start to think about it and understand that it is going to be a problem. We immediately have to get help. That would probably be the first thing we're going to call for additional help if something happened downtown. But on a day-to-day basis, just the fact that a train blocks something downtown, we have to be able to respond and get people to the help that they need as quickly as possible. And the chief and people think that these are not a seat of the pants responses. Right. They plan for months and months and years on how to do this and fine-tune these things based on the information that we get.
And as our residents, I mean, what can we do? Is there something that we can do to try to help or do something?
There's nothing the residents can do. What we're doing from a city standpoint is part of the merger requirements that the train company has to do is they have to provide some sort of train tracking technology to identify, for us to identify where the trains are. The fire department is already working with a third-party vendor that Elgin is going to be one of the test sites for in the near future that is also going to be able to provide that train tracking technology for us. So what we'll be able to do in theory, once this comes to fruition, is looking at and being able to identify the length of the train, the speed of the train, how long those crossings are going to be down, and then we can make a response decision. Do we take Route 20? Do we take I-90? How do we adjust our responses? So those are the types of things that the fire department and the city are doing to try to mitigate and I don't want to say minimize the impact because the impact's going to be significant, but best we can do to try to operate our responses around this challenge.
How does bridge construction factor in?
Yeah, and with the construction that we might be facing, what's going to happen there?
To add a little bit more to our dilemma here is Elgin's going to be undergoing two bridge reconstructions, total reconstructions.
And that's going to be a period of time. It's going to take a while.
Years. Yeah, this will take years. We're looking 5-6 years down the road now, and we're going to reconstruct Chicago Street and Kimball Street bridges, not at the same time. So don't get.
Oh my God, we're in trouble, whichever way you look at it.
Not at the same time. But how do we do that, and how do we maintain the traffic flow as best? And I think, we always try to look at this from a, kind of the worst case and work our way backwards. But at the same time, just on a day-to-day quality of life issue, the trains going through town, the ambulances have to deal with traffic just like cars do. And there's going to be log jams of cars here in downtown as these trains go through, and they'll have to deal with the traffic. Even that they know that they can get through in a minute or two, the traffic there is going to be a problem. Absolutely. And how to get through it calls for delays. And again, this will take long time discussions through the police department and our emergency responders and city staff as to how we're going to plan to move forward here.
This is going to impact us really right away, pretty much, isn't it?
They're looking at potentially having train increases as early as mid-April.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that's during springtime, we have more people out and about. I mean, this is really going to be something that's going to be very impactful for our whole community.
Absolutely, all of those things. And the bridge constructions won't be starting for some time yet, but we'll be learning how to deal with the freight trains that are coming through. And you also can't forget that we have about 40 metro trains a day. Yeah. And they're still going to be coming through too. And I guess I visualize, just at Kimball Street when the metro train comes through at 4 o'clock, how the traffic backs up in a matter of minutes. Yeah. And now if you put a freight train there at the same time, that takes 5 or 6 minutes itself to clear, it's gonna cause some traffic issues. And I don't think that's predictable for us. I think we're going to have to see it to see what happens and then adapt.
So I think these are some things that we have to kind of take into consideration. Thank you so much for all you guys are doing. I know it's a lot, especially because it's coming so fast. And unfortunately, I think time is of essence right now. And unfortunately, we really can't do anything really quick right now, but we're working on it little by little.
There's lots of things in the pipeline to help reduce the impact, but it's still going to be an impact. And you mentioned what can the community do, and I think the mayor brought up a great point. There's a level of patience. Traffic is going to be a problem, and it's a level of patience. And when a fire engine or an ambulance or a police car are coming through the intersection, everybody wants to try to rush through and get to where they're going. But we're trying to manage these delays And so the quicker we can get through traffic, the quicker we can get through intersections, crossing the bridges, the better it is for the community.
Yes, yeah, that's one thing. We all need to make sure that we're kind for others, plan ahead, make sure we take our time because, it is important to make sure that our first responders are going to go on their way and where they need to, especially because, time is of essence, especially for those who are in emergency moments. So we appreciate anything else you'd like to say, Mayor?
Thank you, Elisa, for doing the show today, and thanks for Chief Sagan for being with us. And we'll look forward to seeing you all next month.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hoy me encuentro con una gran organización que se llama Casa Michoacán. En sí tienen muchísima información que nos puede dar y creo que va a ayudar a nuestra comunidad en muchas formas. Tenemos aquí con Darwin Tapia y sí, ¿verdad? No me equivoqué porque a veces cambio los nombres de todas las personas y a veces no les agrada. Y Blanca Ramírez con nosotros, que nos van a decir un poquito de lo que es Casa Michoacán, cuánto tiempo tienen aquí en sí, porque acaban de llegar aquí en Elgin y creo que es algún tesorito que vamos a tener desarrollando y va a ser muy importante saber todos los servicios que van a estar proveyendo. Dinos un poquito, ¿qué es Casa Michoacán?
Casa Michoacán es una organización sin fines de lucro que empezó en 1994. Ha brindado muchos apoyos y ayudas a las personas indocumentadas y a refugiados. Otra cosa que quisiera mencionar, nosotros apenas abrimos esta oficina aquí en Elgin en diciembre. Nosotros tenemos una oficina en Pilsen, en Chicago, en West Chicago y en Carbondale, al sur de Illinois. Ahorita uno de los servicios que tenemos es aplicaciones de ayuda económica para las personas que fueron afectadas por el COVID.
So, ¿tienen que tener ellos pruebas de que fueron afectados? ¿Cómo es eso que funciona? Que en sí, si alguien salió positivo, ¿qué es lo que necesitan?
Puede ser algún documento del doctor que haya comprobado que ellos tuvieron COVID en algún tiempo. Puede ser una carta del empleador. Vamos a suponer un restaurante cerró, no pudieron trabajar los cocineros, los meseros, tuvieron afectados sus horas de trabajo, días de trabajo. Pueden aplicar con una tarjeta de su empleador para comprobar que tuvieron COVID o les afectó sus horas el COVID.
Okay. Y aparte, cuando hacen eso, ¿tienen que en sí probar con el médico o tienen que haber estado en el hospital o simplemente con que hayan salido positivos?
Simplemente con que hayan salido positivos, pero tendría que ser un documento con su nombre y fecha del contagio.
Qué interesante, porque si alguien estuvo afectado y les afectó, porque muchas personas les afectó el ingreso,
Correcto.
en sí el trabajo y realmente ha caído pesadito y todavía andamos con esos afectos todavía. Es que qué bueno. ¿Y qué más tienen para ofrecer?
Otra cosa que tenemos es tarjetas médicas. Le llenamos la solicitud a las personas de 42 años en adelante, sin importar el estatus migratorio. Nada más nos piden 3 comprobantes: identidad, puede ser la matrícula o el pasaporte. Otra cosa que nos piden es comprobante de ingresos, pueden ser los últimos 2 talones de cheque o el W2. Y otra cosa que nos piden es comprobante de domicilio, cualquier bill con su nombre y dirección.
¿Y tienen que tener cierto tiempo trabajando en un lugar o cómo funciona eso? Porque es cualquier persona después de 42 años, porque eso es algo nuevo. Correcto. Es algo que apenas empezó y creo que es una gran oportunidad. Si no tienen tarjeta médica, pueden aplicar, especialmente porque es un gran beneficio, ¿no?
Claro que sí, es algo que las personas hoy en día ocupan y más que está muy caro todo esto de salud médica. En el doctor uno va y le cobran a uno mucho.
Sí. So, ¿necesitan tener un cierto tiempo trabajando? ¿Cómo es eso?
No, nada más necesitan los últimos 2 talones más recientes o el W2.
Ok, muy bien. ¿Algún otro servicio? Porque sé que tienen bastantes más.
Claro que sí, tenemos un programa ahorita de reunificación familiar. Este programa se llama Mariposas Migrantes. Es para, Casa Michoacán le está ayudando para que obtengan una visa. El único requisito, y creo que el más importante, es de que esta persona tenga 60 años cumplidos y tenga un familiar directo aquí en Estados Unidos.
Ok, puede ser como un tío, tía, o tiene que ser la mamá, la papá, ¿importa cómo funciona?
Tiene que ser la mamá o tiene que ser algún hermano, un familiar así más cercano.
Más apegado luego, ¿verdad?
Claro que sí.
Y también otra cosa que vi, que tienen clases de guitarra. A mí siempre me ha encantado la guitarra, aunque nada más ando rascándole, pero por lo menos antes tocábamos y tenemos que empezar nuevamente estas clases. ¿Para quién son? ¿Cómo funciona? Porque creo que muchos podemos empezar las clases.
Claro que sí, estas clases de guitarra se están impartiendo los domingos, es totalmente gratis, es para niños a partir de 12 años, personas a partir de 12 años en adelante.
¿Quieres un niño grande? ¿Sí,
pues uno siempre se siente niño.
Aunque sea de corazones, que sí todavía funciona. En sí, estamos aquí ubicados en una iglesia. Para las personas, estamos cerca del parque de Lord's Park. ¿Cuál es la dirección? Para las personas, ¿qué es el horario? ¿Cómo pueden venir a hablar con ustedes?
Muy bien, claro que sí. Nuestro número de teléfono es 630-480-6628. Estamos ubicados en el 340 Grand Boulevard, frente al Lord Park, en el interior de la iglesia luterana Betelem.
Y creo que es algo bien importante para las personas si tienen dudas, alguna pregunta, realmente que tienen aquí para poder comunicarse. Muchos servicios que tienen ustedes y sé que van a estar haciendo más. Muchísimas gracias. Tienen preguntas, llámenles, aquí los esperamos. Gracias por todo lo que están haciendo y bienvenidos a nuestra comunidad.
Otra cosa, disculpe, otra cosa que también ofrecemos, que es muy importante, a las personas que son residentes, que se quieren hacer ciudadanas, aquí les ayudamos a llenar su aplicación N400, cualquier cosa, llámenos al 630-480-6628.
Muchas gracias.
Otra vez.
Otra vez el teléfono.
630-480-6628, 340 Grand Boulevard, Elgin, Illinois, dentro de la iglesia Bethlehem Luterana.
¿Alguna pregunta? Ya saben dónde comunicarse. Hasta pronto. Tenemos una gran organización que se llama Apple. Para eso tenemos nuestra gran amiga que está con nosotros en sí, Andrea, nos va a platicar un poquito qué es Apple, porque es una organización muy importante en nuestra comunidad. Andrea, dinos un poquito en sí, ¿qué es Apple?
Apple es una organización aquí de Elgin que se enfoca en los niños de 0 a 5 años.
Ajá.
Nosotros queremos que los niños estén saludables, felices para que empiecen el kindergarten. Entonces nosotros conectamos a las familias con recursos en la comunidad, diferentes recursos que tiene Elgin y también Hanover Park, Streamwood. Entonces las comunidades que se enfoca el distrito de U46, nosotros también nos enfocamos en esas familias.
Y las personas que quieren ser parte de este programa, se tienen que registrar. ¿Cómo se van a poder registrar o ser parte de este programa?
Pueden llamar, nuestro número es 844-KID-INFO y pueden llamar y yo recibo esas llamadas y yo me conecto con esas familias y yo voy a ser la persona que los puede conectar con esos recursos en la comunidad.
Eso los vas orientando. Es algo muy importante para nosotros y asegurar que se sientan integrados en sí en la comunidad. ¿Y cómo se van a enterar de dónde van a tener los eventos, a qué horas se tienen que registrar o cómo le hacen?
Cada organización es diferente. Entonces, lo que nosotros decimos es que vayan a nuestras páginas de web, elginpartnership.org o nuestro Instagram, también Elgin Partnership, y ahí se pueden ver todas las actividades que van a tener en la comunidad.
Qué bien. Y otra cosa, si otras personas dicen, oh, yo quiero ser parte y ayudarte, ¿ustedes aceptan voluntarios o cómo trabajan ahí?
Ahorita no estamos aceptando voluntarios, pero sí estamos aceptando a las personas que necesitan recursos en la comunidad, sí.
Para ser parte del programa tienen que tener los bebés de 0 a 5 años.
Sí, entonces cualquier mamá que necesita recursos de 0 a 5 años puede llamarnos y nosotros les podemos conectar con los recursos.
Pues muchas gracias por todo lo que hace porque es bien importante. For more information, please visit cityofelgin.org. Para más información, por favor visite nuestra página cityofelgin.org. Don't forget, for city services, call 311. Call, click, connect. Para servicios de la ciudad, no olvide llamar 311, llamar, conectar y textear.